Greetings and welcome to In the Mix, streaming live on Streets 989 Atlanta TV, a global network. I'm your host, the First Lady, EmCee Jazzy. Today we are breaking it down with author, editor, and educator. She is the editor at Bibs and Business Magazine, Dr. Arian T. Moore. She is an Atlanta native and she is a graduate of Howard University. Let's bring her on. Greetings.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, awesome. So excited to have you in the studio, Dr. Moore. What an
Thank
honor
you.
and a pleasure. You're doing such an amazing things in your life. Let's get started. Dr.
Awesome.
Moore, tell me what happened in your life that shaped your views and your perspectives that you have today.
Well, I would say my parents introducing me to Christ will probably be the one thing that shaped the person that I am today. The person I am is totally based on what I believe in, my morals, my values, my faith in God. So I would say that just that alone made me who I am. It guides me every day, every step I take, what any business ventures or opportunities that come my way. I always make sure it lines up with what I believe in.
So, as the editor at Bibs and Business Magazine, your premier magazine is focused on work life balance for Christian working women. Share with us a little bit about how you are motivating and inspiring our next generation.
Okay, well, yes, Bibs and Business Magazine. I actually started that magazine when I was completing my dissertation, and I was having a hard time trying to balance being a mom, being a wife, a professor, and being in school all at the same time, and trying to
Mhm.
figure out where do I fit in terms of self-care, where do I fit in trying to do all these things. And so I looked for resources that were relevant to me and really
Mhm.
couldn't find anything that had scriptural basis. And so I decided to start one. And the
So,
magazine offers, encouragement. It also offers recipes and workouts and things that working moms will find resourceful.
mhm. Well, it's amazing that you took that perspective, and I looked at some of your different articles and some of the different contributors. What made you develop such a diverse type of, relationship with your contributors and the articles that you choose to publish? It's very diverse. It's not like a culture like any specific culture. Anybody can adapt and appreciate what you're you know guide where you're guiding them and what you're saying in your magazine.
Right. Well, I wanted it to be diverse, a diverse magazine that featured all kinds of moms from all different backgrounds.
Right.
I definitely appreciate my culture and celebrate Black culture. The book that I wrote definitely highlights Black culture, but I didn't want to be exclusive with this particular magazine because it is a Christian magazine, and I wanted it to be something to unify all of us moms across all
Wow.
nationalities and ethnic groups.
That's awesome, and I love that perspective. It was very appreciative when I started reading different articles that it was. I just appreciated that it was a different diversity coming from the magazine itself. Now, as the adjunct professor at several universities, can you reflect a little bit on that aspect of your career?
Absolutely. So this is my 10th year teaching at the collegiate level, and I absolutely love what I do as a professor. It actually has allowed me to go into other lanes in terms of academic life. I'm starting to do curriculum development as well for some universities.
Hmm.
Um, Actually, it's funny to tell the story of how I got into teaching on at the college level, but um, I was pregnant with my first son, and I actually was accepted into a program called Teach for America, which is a very, you know, it's a very important program because they send people into your Title A schools to help and to enlighten those kids, inspire those kids. And it's not easy to get into the program. And I was accepted into the
Hmm.
program, but anyway, I really wanted to be a hands-on mom in my child's life. I wanted to nurse my child. I wanted to be the type of mom that was home for dinner. And so I just prayed and asked God to open up a door for me to be able to teach online. And I applied for one university, and that door opened. And since then, more and more doors have been opening, which have allowed me to be the type of mom that I've aspired to be.
That's awesome. Being able to handle your own schedule or to be a little bit more flexible with your schedule while your kids are coming up in age is very important. But like you said, the mother has so many different multi-facets. How do you juggle it? How do you make it look so easy? How do you manage to stay, to keep it all together? I mean, you are a mother, and you deal with other mothers, so I'm sure you guys have this conversation.
Well, yes, I've been told that I make it look easy, but it's not. I will say my dad used to always tell me, Ariane, slow down, because I always would do things so fast. But that has actually been a blessing, because having four kids and being able to do things fast and get things done has really helped me to be able to function as a mom. As
Awesome.
far as balance, though, um, the one key that has helped me is waking up early in the morning. And I try to set my alarm for 5 o'clock a.m. every morning, even on the weekends, because if I'm not grading papers on Sundays, I take my bath and I spend time with God every morning. Just having time allocated for me has helped me to be able to balance it all. And that's the one key I would say for every mom, is to make sure that you find time every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, for yourself.
Yeah.
Also, I am a wife. I'm married, so I do have some help. I'm not in it on my own. So with the housework and stuff like that, my husband does help a lot with those things. So I am very appreciative of that. And if I do need more help, I'm never afraid to ask him for additional assistance.
Well, I know, it still has to be somewhat of a challenge to even be able to, like you say, you have four kids and a husband and yourself. So that's really six people. But I know you handle it well. Let's move on and talk a little bit about your latest book. I know you've also written a book with your husband, Pastor ML, but let's talk about Fairy Cornbread. Fairy Cornbread. Um,
Yes.
Very, very good read for any age. I know a children's book, and you're, dedicating the book to your daughter. So share a little bit about that. I mean, not to give it all out, but just to give us a little bit about the book.
Sure. Well, Fairy Cornbread, I wrote for my daughter's birthday last year. I was actually looking for a book about a Black girl that was a fairy, and
Uh-huh.
I couldn't find any books for her, for little girls like her that look like her with brown skin. So I actually wrote the book for her. There were no intentions for me to publish the book. I
Hmm.
just wrote it to read to her for her birthday. I wrote it on my laptop and read it to her and my other kids, and they were all just so amazed by the book, and they were so into the book, and they were following along with the story. And then I read it to my husband, my mom, my brother, and his wife, and people were just like blown away by the storyline. the cultural elements in the book. And so people were really encouraging, like, you should put this out. Other little girls need to see this. Other Black families need to read
Yes.
this type of book because it's so relatable. So that's kind of how Fairy Cornbread came about.
And I love the illustration. I think I commented on the family post about that. It is just, it's dead on. I mean, it has each one of you all and grandmama. That was really, really cute. Dr. Moore, you are a native Georgian and also a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority and alumni of Howard University. Any thoughts on our new vice president that you might want to share with the audience today?
Well, of course, I was just in such a state of amazement, shock, excitement, elated, everything. It was just so, oh my goodness, it was like a breath of fresh air. Like, we did it. We did it, Joe. I was so happy when at the inauguration, when I was watching it on live broadcast. I was
Uh-huh.
running around the house excited, screaming, because to see a woman that looks like me, for my daughter to see a woman that looks like her, to be the vice president of the United States of America, that is just such a amazing thing. It's we're breaking ceilings, and I mean, words can't express how proud I am as a Howard alum, as a AKA. It's just like, we did it.
I mean, I couldn't wait to wear my chucks and pearls. I couldn't wait. And,
Yes.
it was just, to me, I actually had to like, just reminisce that it took this long,
Hmm.
to have a vice president woman in office. It took this long, and the rest is definitely memento. So I
Yes.
just, it was just like, wow. It was just, whew.
Breathtaking.
Yes, it was overwhelming. But Dr.
Yes.
Moore, when you think of motherhood, any inspirations that you would like to share on some of the challenges and some of the rewards?
Yes, motherhood is, for me, it's just one of the greatest experiences ever, because you get to see many versions of yourself, which can sometimes drive you crazy, because then you're like, oh, I see now what my mama or my daddy was talking about. But there are definitely challenges, for one, because when you're in a family, everybody has a different personality. And so some personalities clash. And
Yes,
as a mom, you kind of, when you have more than one child, you kind of play referee, trying to help them navigate relationships, learn conflict resolution, learn anger management. So sometimes I feel like I'm a referee, sometimes I'm a therapist. You wear so many hats as a mom. For me to overcome those challenges, it's really prayer, and just praying about the issues that they face, taking them to the Lord. I call them by name. I ask God for each child to help them with their specific, whether it's a behavior issue or something that's bothering them. That's what I do in regards to those things. And the reward for me is to see the manifestations in their lives, where answered prayers, and just to see them grow. I mean, that's a reward in itself, to see God use them. And when we have devotion, to hear them understanding the word of God, those are some of the rewarding things that I would say I think about with motherhood.
yeah. Motherhood is truly something amazing, and it continues to evolve throughout the transitions in life. Definitely something that I'm so happy that I had an opportunity to experience in my life. Dr. Moore, has there been anyone in your life that has been a major inspiration to you that you would like to share with us today?
Oh man, there are so many people that have been inspirations to me, honestly. I mean, from my dad to one of my greatest inspirations is Dr. King. He's actually somebody that I really look up to because he was a man of God, a man of faith, and he didn't allow other people to cause him to hate. He decided to choose love every time. But there were also teachers that inspired me when I was a child and I went through rough times. There were teachers there that motivated me, that encouraged me, that saw the potential in me and pushed me when I didn't feel like I had it. They pushed me. So, I want to say that to all the teachers out there that are having a hard time right now with all of the changes we're experiencing in the world,
Mhm.
and they're
Mhm.
teaching online and teaching in the classrooms. Like, they don't always know what a difference they make in children's lives, but I'm one of those people that can say that there were teachers that actually made a difference in my life.
Well, that was actually the next question, Dr. Moore, is, 2020 was a year of refinement for most of us.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, we knew someone or someone that we um, probably were related to passed on. Can you share with us how COVID has kind of, like you were saying, the teachers are teaching? Has there been any kind of adjustments in your life that you've had to make? All of us has, but I'm just saying that you would like to share.
Absolutely. So my high school chorus teacher, who was also a member of my church and a family friend, she actually passed away early in the beginning of the virus last year. And that really was hard for me
Mhm.
to accept. I mean, in addition to her, I have high school classmates that have lost parents, college friends that have lost parents. I have a dear friend who's in the hospital right now battling COVID. He's been there for about 2 months, and we've been continuing to pray for him, pray for his healing. um as far as my personal life adjustments that I've had to make, just not taking this for granted, not taking life for granted, not taking this virus for granted, because so many people go out, they're not wearing their masks, they're not taking this seriously. And that's a concern because people are dying, and people who aren't dying are still getting sick. There are long-term effects to this virus that we still don't understand. So that's, I mean, just wearing a mask every day. Of course, it's an adjustment. I've been masking up, washing my hands, doing all the things that scientists are recommending us to do.
Right.
Another thing I will say though is that the pandemic caused all of us to slow down a little bit and to look at, I don't really need to do that. That's not that important. And I will say I learned a lot during the quarantine time of just saying, you know what, I don't have to have my kids in all these activities. We don't have to do every single thing. It's okay to just hang out at home and enjoy each other and play family games and have,
Yeah.
time together as a family. That's one
Yeah.
of the lessons that I learned during this
Yeah.
time.
I think also it made us learn a little bit more about appreciating those people that we do have to have very close contact with.
Right.
Because when we're busy, we tend to not show that genuine touchy, but when you are
Right.
actually stable and actually isolated, you
Mhm.
tend to spend a little bit more Q time, I call it, with your significant other as well as with your kids, like you say, playing games. I know we used to play a lot of games at home, when we wasn't able to do a lot of things. So that kind of was something that me and my grandkids had to try to do, which I didn't get to see for a long time. But
Mhm.
I've lost a lot of folks to COVID. So I'm waiting now to take my second vaccine. So I
Mhm.
would say anybody that is concerned about COVID, I would say go ahead and take it. If you have reservations, that's fine. But if you do have any kind of doubt, or you may think that someone that you're going out and you're doing all these things, you may want to go ahead and get some type of protection because they're predicting at least I think it's 200,000 people by spring.
Mm,
So it's going to pass away. That's why
mm.
they're really trying to put a rush on getting the vaccine out there. But Dr. Moore, tell the audience how to reach you and how to purchase Fairy Cornbread and how to, you know, get in touch with you with Bibs and Business magazine.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for this opportunity. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. Arian T. Moore. The book can be purchased on Amazon. You could also visit fairycornbread.com. And the magazine, Bibs and Business Magazine, can be found at bibsandbusiness.com or on social media at Bibs and Business Mag.
Awesome, awesome. Dr. Moore, any final words of wisdom for our audience today before we let you go?
My final words of wisdom would just be to inspire you guys to be encouraged. I know everybody is not having the best of times right now. A lot of people are experiencing heartache and rough times. And I just want to encourage you to be encouraged, and just know that that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And
Amen.
just put a smile on your face, be grateful for what you do have, and know that brighter days are ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing today. We wish you continued success in life, and you know I'll definitely be in touch. Many, many
Thank
blessings.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you so much. Have a blessed day.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, that was Dr. Arian T. Moore. She is the author of Fairy Cornbread. So, guys, make sure that you go out and purchase this book and support author, doctor. She is also a professor and she is an editor at Bibs and Business magazine. So make sure that you support her. She is definitely an amazing young woman. Guys, I'm going to say enjoy the rest of your day. I've had a pleasure hanging out with you guys here today. And thank you so much for joining me. This show is dedicated to true life experiences. I'd like to thank Dr. Moore again for stopping by and sharing. And until then, continue to keep God first in your life. I'm going to exit with a peace.